Yeah, good morning, Cloud ERP Livestream. Welcome, everybody. Process modeling is too difficult for me. I don't know where to start. I feel overwhelmed. Have you ever had such a thought? Yeah, that is not unusual. This is completely normal. Yeah, it is very usual to think about this way. Yeah, even many people, they think, well, all this process modeling, this is all too complicated for me. I won't even start. I will try to avoid it as good as possible. Yeah, we are always honest in this live stream. But if you have thought this way one time, maybe you're right here, and even you're surely right here. So today, because we are looking about, how can we overcome this initial, overwhelming, so to say. So on the other hand, process modeling can also be real fun. So to use it as a means to create collaboration between business and IT, and also to provide clarity. So that's the main thing, to provide clarity, and to find real improvements between departments and between collaboration in the company, actually. So that's what we experience. But the thing is, how do we get the start? And so welcome to a Cloud ERP live stream. And today we will have a look in the rise of process AI. Very exciting topic. And we already discussed yesterday about this different process maturity levels of organizations. And there are bigger organizations like large enterprises who might have a process management or process modeling discipline. But smaller or medium-sized companies, or even acquisitions or subsidiaries or incubations, for example, oftentimes they are, so to say, too small to have established a process management discipline, so to say. So this is more like working agile, or working, as we say, mit der Hand am Arm in Germany. Of course, they have good processes, otherwise they wouldn't not be successful. But not necessarily documented processes. And the thing is, do you want to document your process? Some say no, some say yes. The thing is, if you have an IT and you say, okay, I have an IT and I want to improve the IT. I don't want to be dependent too much on my IT provider. I want to not necessarily be dependent on a certain IT product or a certain custom development. I want to take control back into my company. And then you are at the point to say, okay, I must take control of my processes again. But how do I do this? Because I have, for example, not much like budget or something like this to now create a big process analysis project. So we discussed about that yesterday. So what can we do? So if we look into the reality of mid-sized companies, then there's a lot of using of Excel databases, email, SharePoints, and so this is the typical like grown system landscape, so to say. It is more like historically grown, but how can we then manage rising costs and inefficiencies, or how do we work with increasing competition? Yesterday we had this example. What if you request multiple suppliers for a quote, yeah, like via email, for example, yeah, and your customer wants the spare part, yeah, for example, and then and then you get some answers, some you don't get, and then the one who sends the emails goes to vacation, then all of the supplier invoice, supplier quotes are in his inbox. Yeah, nobody knows about this. Yeah, so this is a problem then in this case, working in this scenario, for example. So that's why we think of best practice process building blocks from a cloud ERP, and this can solve the issue. But the question is, how can we come from this state, from this, so to say, reality, into this best practice process state? How can we encounter, how can we discover, how can we find if our, so to say, processes even fit to the best process building blocks from cloud ERP? Because you might say, yeah, it's nice that this cloud ERP has this best practice and calls them best practice, but maybe this is not my practice, yeah, not my process. Yeah? So that is the big question. How can we compare those two processes? And I can tell you, yeah, we can compare the processes, yeah, if we have processes. Yeah. So if we have processes in the first place, process documentation, so to say. But reality in medium-sized companies is we don't have this processes documentation. So, and how can we solve this? How can we bring light into this? And you remember in the latest live stream we discussed about getting insight into, I'll jump to this slide, getting insights into the processes is key to recommendations and actions to improve. Yeah? So, but how do you get insights? If you already, for example, have an SAP system, an old ECC system, we discussed about this, then you can use plug and grow, which is process insights, extracting from the old ECC database the processes, and then having insights. But if you are a mid-sized company, you don't have an SAP ECC system, how can you do this? Then how can you get insights into your processes instead of just starting everything to model from scratch? So that is the big question that we have. Yeah. So how can we do this? Yeah, so I invite you all, as always, this morning to join us on menti.com to also share your opinions, your mood, your questions, because it's always good to interact. And this is the code 83845930 for today. Use menti.com. It is anonymous and your personal data will not be collected. Or you can use the QR code and use the app, for example. That's also possible. Okay, so welcome. The code is 83845930 for today. So there are several, we discussed this yesterday, maturity levels of a company. And if you are a smaller company, like a startup or a mid-market company, oftentimes you are on level 1, so to say, standalone in-house small point solutions being used, worksheets to manage processes. What if you want to take a shortcut to the intelligent applications and platform, a data-centric platform supporting intelligent applications that leverage machine learning, Internet of Things, predictive capabilities to automate transactions and provide proactive insights. Yeah? So, and you are not yet on level 2. You don't have like an ERP system, for example, or maybe you are already on level 2. Yeah, you have an old ERP system and multiple like interfaces and custom codes and so on and so on. But you want to move on, but you don't know actually how. So this is the typical situation we find mostly actually in our projects. Yeah? This is one or two. Yeah? This is so common. Yeah? And yeah, it is oftentimes the IT landscape has grown over time. Yeah? And there's a, so to say, lack of knowledge. Yeah? Lack of knowledge what every part of this machine, yeah, it is like a steaming machine. You don't even dare to touch it, because if you think you touch it, you might break something. Yeah? So that is the situation oftentimes. Yeah. What you need is transparency. Transparency is what are these IT systems doing actually? Yeah? How can I optimize them without breaking something? Yeah? So that is the great fear, and that is why people tend to use these IT systems longer than is actually profitable, so to say. Yeah? Because there are many new modern processes. Integration of machine learning into, for example, we did this example, if you look in our live streams, with the matching of payments and goods receivable, invoice receivable, yeah, or open, offene Posten, as we say in German, yeah. So yeah, and that is a live stream we did. Yeah, we showed in many examples how machine learning can optimize the process of matching, yeah, payments with good invoice receivables. Yeah? And yeah, so that is optimized, but for that you need an intelligent application and platform. So maybe you want to have a look also at this series. You can do this by, I'll show you where you find that. Neues privates Fenster öffnen. Ja. Patreon.com/adapro/collections. Yeah? So that is your place to be. And then you can have here business and process AI. Yeah? And here we have these live streams, also this live stream of today, of course, but also we have how we can use cash management and how we can use AI in cash management. So if you want to have a look at this, yeah, so I must admit, yeah, it's in German, but if there's a demand for having it in English, just tell me, then I might do some subtitles and you might want to watch it also then. Okay, so that's about that. But how can we now move from this, how can we have a quick start? The journey starting point does not allow for affordable structured process analysis like process mining or classical process analysis and modeling. So that's the thing. So we did many of these process modeling and process analysis projects, yeah, and the investment was worth it. But if you now in the first place don't have the budget or some limitations, how can you, because then you are stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Either you say, okay, I don't do process analysis, that's a problem then, because then you implement an ERP system and actually it is, so to say, useless. Yeah. Yeah. So actually, if you don't look at your processes and optimize your processes with the help of the ERP system, it may turn out to be useless actually, or not helpful. Yeah. So, but if you do process modeling, you have to invest a lot of budget, so that might also be a problem. So that is between a rock and a hard place. And therefore, what can we do? Yeah. yesterday we said also to move on in process maturity, we need something new. And this is the AI-driven part. This is what we want to have a look at today. How can we accelerate this? So the hope is that AI can help us to come from this state of reality in medium-sized companies into best practice process building blocks from a cloud ERP. So that would be very great. So why not? AI is on the move, AI is on the rise. How can we utilize this? What can we do to use this to help us move forward faster? That's the question. So let's do a small breather. Let us do a small brainstorming. So what comes to your mind if you think of process AI? So let us take some moments of reconsideration. What would you think to be? And you can join us on menti.com. Use the code 83845930 and just type a word, or like to say 3 words or something like this, and then we can collect what you think about the process AI. What comes to your mind? Why are you listening today? What is your challenge you want to overcome? So first feedbacks are coming in. So we have 25 seconds left for our brainstorming here. Thank you for every participation you give. And so 8 seconds left. Thank you. 11 answers already. So thank you. Okay, so some interesting brainstorming. Discover process. ChatGPT comes to mind. MS Project. Okay, interesting. BPMN, the process modeling language. SAP Signavio. Mitarbeiterbefragung. Mapping. Process collaboration. Quick. VBS, WBS, work breakdown structure. That would be project management. So we need to distinguish between process and project, so to say, because here we have two, maybe terms which are similar. And diagrams. So thank you. Let's move on and see what we have. So we had this. So this is actually a typical diagram we use in our practical projects. In our projects we have, this is a German term, old life, so to say. And this is a small diagram. You can see that. And it typically represents the complex structures we find if we analyze the IT systems of existing IT departments, so to say. So it's very hard to understand this. It's very hard to, and even, yes, of course you cannot read this, but it is more of the symbolism now of this part here to represent a complicated system structure and a complicated process structure which is ingrained in the system structure. Now that is actually the big challenge, to extract the business process from that, because it is called business process modeling language. Business process. I cannot repeat this often enough. So I must say, even on Monday, we reviewed some Signavio processes who were created by somebody. Yeah. And yeah, it was the same problem as so often is done. Actually, it was modeled an IT process and not a business process. It is called business process modeling language. And then please model business processes, yeah, and not IT processes. So, but we have to start somewhere. So admittedly, yeah. So this is why we have to extract from these, yeah, IT-oriented processes, we have to extract the end-to-end business process. And that is the main, so to say, creative work. This is the main creative work. Yeah? Yeah, and this is what we find as the most challenging thing in each of the projects. Because if you have done this one, yeah, if you've done this one, extracting the end-to-end business process from that mess here, then you have done the most difficult work of all. Yeah, the rest is relatively, so to say, easy. Yeah, because if you have the business process, then you can fit to standard to existing, for example, SAP Business by Design or S/4HANA Cloud, existing best practice processes. Yeah, you can see if those business processes end-to-end match to the process building blocks of SAP Business by Design or S/4HANA Cloud. Yeah? And that is why I told you I'm always honest in this in this live stream. And let me switch myself on again. So because this is the most difficult task to extract, yeah, this business process from the so-called IT mess, yeah. This I don't promise you that artificial intelligence. I of course promise, but I can promise nothing. Yeah, I'm just a guy on YouTube. Yeah, I can speak for nobody. I can speak not for SAP. Yeah, I'm just telling my thoughts, and maybe these are the rumblings of a madman. So it's just my opinion. Yeah. So what I think is this part here, extracting the business process from an IT mess, so to say. This will always be the domain of humans. That is my proposition. So I think no artificial intelligence will be able to do this. This is my opinion. And why? And we can go into a philosophical debate because it's a creative process. And yeah, we can debate endlessly now about if AI can be creative or not. I think it cannot be creative. That's my opinion. I know all the AI pictures generated and so on, but this is mainly a repetition of other thing. So, but yeah, we can discuss this. So this is my take. I think for that analysis here to extract the business process from the IT things, that is the domain of humans. But we can think of making the life easier in other ways. Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, what can we? Let me move myself here up in the corner. Maybe that's better then to see. Okay. So what can we think of? So, like, consider if we have only unstructured documents available. Yeah, something like systems documentation or even Verfahrensweisen, statements of work, or standard operating procedures. Sorry, not statements of work, but standard operating procedures. Yeah, so in some companies you have standard operating procedures, some handbooks, some IT documentations, some words, PDFs, Excel tables, something like this. Yeah. So what if we could use AI to extract from these documents at least the unstructured data into some process snippets? Yeah, this would already be of a great help, I would say, because then we can skip this tedious task of this first process creation. So I'm not expecting, as I said, I'm not expecting from these unstructured data that the AI will have the potential to extract the whole end-to-end business process. You have to know so much about how to do this. Yeah. So I must say this I think is human. But for that, I think, also I'm convinced, so to say, that is a good domain. We could try AI. Yeah. So that is something we should certainly try to make things easier, to get the starting point, because the starting point is so important. Yeah. If you have the first model, this is always what we find in process modeling projects. If you have the first models, you start to debate, to discussion, yeah, and then people come together, and then they start. And the discussion is the most valuable thing, not the model itself. Yeah, the discussion about the model, the communication, because it's a language. Yeah? It's a notation, and a notation it's a language, and a language is to speak. That is, you want to speak with other people about the process. Yeah, it's a certain type of language. And this is what we find if we have the first models. We start to speak, we start to communicate, and the communication process is the process that creates the value. And that is also the process that helps us to extract the business process out of the IT process. So if we get a starting point quick, that would be great. Also, later, maybe if I had a wish, yeah, and nobody's promising anything, yeah. But yeah, if I had a wish, I would like to say, if we have this end-to-end process, business process, I would like to have AI support for matching to fit to standard, yeah, to S/4HANA, business by design. So that would be a real great thing to have, yeah, actually, yeah. This is, so to say, my wish, yeah. And I think this is reasonable, because here you have already process structure, here you have already process structure, and yeah, if this could be AI supported, would really be great. So, yeah, for example, if we match a, so to say, customer process landscape to a standard process landscape, and this could be supported by AI, this would be great. Yeah? Oh, something I would love to have. Yeah, so this could be something like a end-to-end process, so that you can see what I mean. Yeah, it's starting from winning new customer, creating contract, invoice, charging, Umsatzabgrenzung, revenue recognition, yeah, and yeah, period closing, end-to-end. Yeah, and sometimes if you can map a customer end-to-end process to fit to standard, why you cannot map a standard to a standard? Yeah, so for example, if people consider of moving from SAP Business by Design to S/4HANA Cloud, yeah, there we already have all of these processes modeled, yeah, through many years of experience, yeah, with our customer projects, and we have experiments done in this, yeah, with very promising results, I must say. Yeah, we have very promising results already done. This is on our own AdaPro. Yeah, I'm not speaking for anybody except AdaPro. Yeah, so AdaPro, we have done already experiments because we have this process library of SAP Business by Design already, and there is this SAP S/4HANA process library, yeah, to use AI to map them. What does it help? It helps if you are a customer of SAP Business by Design and you're considering to moving to S/4HANA. Yeah, then come to AdaPro, because we can help you, and we are using AI to make the move from SAP Business by Design to S/4HANA easier. And nobody else can do this. Of course, anybody can type anything into any AI prompt, but we have the business by design processes already, and this is the foundation that nobody else has now. Yeah, because now with us, you can map these processes from SAP Business by Design to S/4HANA, and then make the migration much easier, much smoother, because it's AI supported. Yeah? So that's also something to consider. Yeah? Okay. So, I invite you on Friday, because Friday we have a private live stream for our Patreon members, and we want to consider what could be, here I make this, what could be a, so to say, process AI repository builder, potentially, how could we get a quick start, how could this look like? Just speculating, because nobody can do any promise or something like this. So, but let's speculate together, yeah, on Friday 8:30. And yeah, first you have to register in our community, our Patreon community, patreon.com/adapro, and there you can join. And yeah, so we will have a look then and see you can join who you are, because that is a private live stream. Yeah, it's only for private, a selected number of participants. And yeah, to be selected, you could join for free in the Patreon AdaPro community. And then, yeah, so this will be very exciting. And therefore we select our audience carefully in this. And yeah, so you're welcome to consider. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining. And I hope you find it interesting. It's, yeah, an area of speculation, an area of experimentation, an area of innovation. Yeah? And I think this is something really worthwhile to consider, because this will be disruptive, I can say this. Yeah? Okay, so thank you very much, and hope to see you on Friday. Consider joining, and goodbye.